Grand Rising. Today is Wednesday, April 12, 2023 on the ancient moon calendar, 2024 on the ancient sun calendar, and 2023 on the Greco-Roman civil calendar. Empire State of Morocco, United States for America, Moorish National Republic Federal Government, Societas Republicae e Americanas, Moorish Divine and National Movement of the World, Northwest Mexico, Northwest Africa, North America, the North Gate, and the adjoining Americana Islands, Temple of the Moon and Sun, the true and de jure natural peoples, heirs of the land. Islam, I self, law, am master. Empire State of Morocco, universal, sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine, affidavit of quo warranto, mandamus, restitutio, mittimus. Misra, empire, government. Cause of action, MACX, cause of action K00000001. Summons to hearing for jurisdiction for unlawful bill of attainder. Date commanded to appear Wednesday, April 12, 2023 at 10 ante-meridian Central Standard Time. Court, Moorish American, Moroccan Article 3 Consular Court at Universal Natural Area Code 8HL5CPKZC7QJ. Online video, freeconferencecall.com, Shasha, and they, Amaru Nation. Audio dial in number 720-527-5882. Access code 7203663. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. For the record and then the record show to be read into the record. All rise and stand and remain standing into perpetuity. This is a sovereign, living, ancient, Article 3, Moorish American, Moroccan, Universal Court action. I am sovereign, living justice, Sharon Ann Piet Johnson. My free chosen sovereign appellation of nobility is Shasha Ann Bay, and my sovereign matrimonial appellation is Sharon Ann Martini. All are in capitis, diminutio, nolo, in red ink, in propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. We are the sovereign, living justice in capitis, diminutio, nolo, in red ink, in proprio persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. All Moors are the original, indigenous, sovereign, ancient, Moroccan, Moorish American ascendants of the great pharoahs of Kemet and of the ancient moabites and canaanites. Our full faith and trust, our allegiance, our credit, and our energy are hereby vested in ourselves, for we are the people who are the original, indigenous, natural, divine, sovereign, ancient empire state for Morocco, and the de jure Moorish National Republic Federal Government. Washington District for Columbia, the Universal Moorish National Republic, the Universal Moorish American Consulate, and the Earthwide Article 3 Moorish American Consular Court. Today, we are executing and exercising the law by our sovereign status, which is the original, indigenous, natural, divine, sovereign, ancient, Article 3, living United States District for Columbia Court. And we are the sovereign fiduciaries, creditors, executors, trustees, ministers, possessors, and titled beneficiaries in this cause for action. We are peace, we are one nation, one state, one empire, and one God. We hereby recognize ourselves and accept our sovereign ascension. We issue a universal creditor's bill for possession and custody over all land, all natural resources, all commerce, and all other property. We, the one true God nation, exercise all ancient sovereign rights at this time and at all points in time, non-pro-tem. Let me not, I pray you, accept any man's person, neither let me give flattering titles unto man, for I know not to give flattering titles. In so doing, my Maker would soon take me away. That's John, or Job 32, verses 21-22. And this is a hearing, and the following former custodians have been commanded to appear in the Moorish American, Moroccan Consular Court, Article 3, Consular Court, to state their names and nationalities, and also this is a hearing for jurisdiction. So I'm going to call Adrian Williams, number 13196, former custodian in the office of constable, to make a constabulary force, and all heirs, assigned, principals, agents, and derivatives thereof, if you're present. First, state your name and nationality for the record. Everton Williams, number 10119, former custodian in the office of inspector, Jamaica Constabulary Force, and all heirs, assigned, principals, agents, and derivatives thereof. Federal Plains Police Station, Federal Plains, St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. Also the same for Adrian Williams. State your name and nationality for the record first. Broderick Smith, former custodian in the office of Chief Parish Judge, St. Elizabeth Parish Court, and all heirs, assigned, principals, agents, and derivatives thereof, which comes under St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, and all heirs, assigned, principals, agents, and derivatives thereof. And they are located at 58 High Street, Black River, St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. State your name and nationality for the record if you are here at this hearing for jurisdiction. And Latoya Rule, former custodian in the office of clerk for the court, and all heirs, assigned, principals, agents, and derivatives thereof. St. Elizabeth Parish Court, St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, 58 High Street, Black River, St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. And all of this is relevant, yes. I've stated the name of a former custodian, but also for heirs, assigned, principals, agents, and derivatives thereof. State your name and nationality for the record as we begin this hearing for jurisdiction. No foreign, private, for-profit, criminal, human trafficking, United States Corporation Company, or United States Corporation Company citizen has personam jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction, nor territorial jurisdiction over me or any Moorish American national. I am, and all Moors are, the law and the government. My body, all land, and all property are in the jurisdiction of my ancestral inherited estate at this time and at all points in time. In as much as every government is an artificial person, an abstraction, and a creature of the mind only, a government can interface only with other artificial persons. The imaginary, having neither actuality nor substance, is foreclosed from creating and attaining parity with the tangible. The legal manifestation of this is that no government, as well as any law, agency, aspect, court, etc., can concern itself with anything other than corporate, artificial persons and the contract between them. Supreme Court Reporter, 1795, 3 United States 54, 1 LED 57, 3 Dow 54. The Supreme Court states only the dead can appear in the foreign, private, for-profit, racketeering, criminal, corporate venues. The maxim of law of like kind unambiguously states, disparata non debent jungi, dissimilar things ought not to be joined. Paper, a fictitious contract entity, artificial person, corporation, to paper, and flesh to flesh, the living, and flesh, the living, to flesh, but not paper to flesh or flesh to paper. Thus, there is no, nor can there be lawfully, corporate jurisdiction over the natural living woman. On Friday, March 24th, 2023, at approximately 4:45 post-meridian, I, Sharon Ann Pitt-Johnson, the sovereign, living, original, indigenous, natural, divine, flesh and blood woman, was accosted, physically assaulted, trespassed upon, sexually assaulted, my dress being pulled up, exposing my breasts, handcuffed, kidnapped, and robbed of my sovereign, private, and personal property, my allotedly titled conveyance that is held in a private trust and the trust of the Moorish National Republic Federal Government, and robbed of my liberty, being held for nearly 6 hours, shackled and restrained inside the Federal Plains Police Station by belligerent de facto hired mercenaries acting as policemen and policewomen. You may see the public record of these that event on Facebook And as you can see, the links are all there. I won't read them out, but they're there for your perusal. Once at the Pedro Plains police station, while stateless 14th Amendment hired mercenaries, citizens for the foreign, private, for-profit criminal human trafficking United States Corporation Company, Jamaica Constabulary Force, and all heirs assigned principals and agents and derivatives thereof, masquerading as peace officers, colluded with other unknown stateless 14th Amendment agents assigned to have me, the sovereign, living, original, natural, divine, flesh and blood, sentient Moabite woman, transported to the foreign private de facto corporate Jamaica Constabulary Force female lockup, also known as prisoner of war camp, Newmarket, Hanover, to be held as surety for the fictitious corporate person, nom de guerre, named Sharon Martini. In order to be released and not transported, I was forced, under threat, duress, and coercion, to sign a de facto notice of recognizance, while still tightly shackled in handcuffs. Prior to being finally set free, stateless 14th Amendment de facto Jamaica Constabulary Force Inspector Everton Williams again trespassed on my property, foisting the de facto bills of attainder B009712473, B009712472, B009712475, B009712474, and a Petty Sessions Form Y, summons to person charged to appear 12th day of April for a predetermined alleged dog attack causing injury at the de facto foreign human trafficking Petty Sessions Court at the Black River PC Parish Court, Black River, St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, and all heirs assigned principals, agents, and directors thereof, issued by Williams Adrian 13196 CONS, and signed and sealed by de facto foreign private corporate justice of the peace L00437 or L00432 for the parish of St. Elizabeth into my personal property. All of this took place against my consent. I have not consented to any jurisdiction outside of my sovereign state, sovereign ancestral inherited estate, state. Absent of jurisdiction, warrant, and due process of law, in violation of Article 3, Section 2, the 4th and 5th Amendments of the Organic Constitution for the United States of America, Articles 6, 20, and 21 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1836, between the United States of North America and the Moroccan Empire, my unalienable and inalienable rights were violated, a declaration of war upon a sovereign national, which is treason. We, the Moors, sovereign nationals of the de jure Moorish National Republic Federal Government, are at peace on our land. A court cannot confer jurisdiction where none existed, and cannot make a void proceeding valid. It is clear and well-established law that a void order can be challenged in any court. Old Wayne, Mut 1 Association versus McDonough, 204 United States 827 SA 236 1907. As all government entities and alleged private corporations must be a creature of the organic constitution for the United States of America, this is a formal command for you, those named in this Article 3 court action, to produce the following as proof beyond reasonable doubt of your lawful jurisdiction and judicial authorization over the sovereign living justice Sharon Ann Piet Johnson in capitis diminutio nolo in red ink, in propria persona sui juris, in propria solo, and in propria heredes, and all Moors as required by the supreme law of the land. The certified copy of the delegation of authority order from Congress for Article 3, Section 1 and 2 of the Organic Constitution for the United States of America, as proof of your Adrian Williams and any other representative acting as constable, Everton Williams and any other representative acting as inspector of the foreign private de facto entity Jamaica Constabulary Force, and Broderick Smith and any other representative acting as judge, and Latoya Rule and any other representative acting as clerk of the court of the private foreign de facto entity Black River PC, purportedly Black River Parish Court, Petty Session Black River Parish Court, PC, St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, and all heirs assigned principals, agents, and derivatives thereof, being lawfully conferred judicial power and consular jurisdiction to hear and decide cases and controversies and or disputes between Moors and citizens of the United States authorized under Articles 20 and 21 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1836 between the United States of America and the Moroccan Empire. 2. Evidence of an alleged identifiable natural person that has established standing as plaintiff, injured party, victim, with an alleged written accusation signed under oath or affirmation by the same. The requirement of standing, however, has a care component derived directly from the Constitution. A plaintiff must allege personal injury fairly traceable to the defendant's allegedly unlawful conduct and likely to be redressed by the requested relief. Allen versus Wright, 468 United States 737, 751, 1984. Number 3, evidence of an alleged lawful Fourth Amendment arrest, search and seizure warrant being signed and issued by a consul officer or Article 3 judicial officer as your lawful authorization to deprive me of my liberty and privacy and hold my private and personal property effect under your custody for any amount of time against my consent. Number 4, evidence of a valid and verifiable contract or commercial agreement mutually made between you and or any other representative of the private foreign de facto St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation and or Black River PC and or Jamaica Constabulary Force, any and all foreign private for-profit racketeering, human trafficking corporations and citizens named in Universal Sovereign Commercial Code 1 liens placed on the public record associated with all fictitious bills of attainder listed in this cause of action, which would obligate me to any specific performance or subject me to the color of law, statute, color of any law, statute, code, rule, regulation, or custom of the private, foreign, de facto, human trafficking, St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, and all heirs, assigns, principals, agents, and derivatives thereof. Evidence of St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, Black River PC, Jamaica Constabulary Force, and all heirs, assigns, agents, principals, and any and all derivatives thereof, and any and all United States Corporation Company citizens named in Universal Sovereign Commercial Code 1 liens placed on the public record, associated with all fictitious bills of attainder listed in this cause of action, having been lawfully conferred judicial authorization and jurisdiction to hear and decide cases affecting the property / estate of sovereign Moorish American nationals in disputes with citizens of the foreign, private, for-profit, de facto, criminal, human trafficking, racketeer in the United States. 6. A certified or true test copy of any alleged valid and verifiable contract or commercial agreement between any representative of the foreign corporate entity Jamaica Constabulary Force, Black River Parish Court, PC, St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, and any and all foreign private de facto bankrupt dead criminal, human trafficking, racketeering, United States Corporation Company citizens named in Universal Sovereign Commercial Code 1 liens placed on the public record associated with all fictitious bills of attainder listed in this cause of action, and I, which would subject me to any specific performance or to any corporate color of law, statute, code, rule, regulation, or custom of any United States Corporation Company citizens named herein, and in Universal Sovereign Commercial Code 1 liens placed on the public record, associated with all fictitious bills of attainder listed in this cause of action, and all heirs, assigns, agents, principals, and any and all derivatives thereof. 7. The certified copy of an alleged written accusation signed under penalty of perjury by an identifiable natural person claiming to be the plaintiff / accuser in case numbers alluded to on the Petty Sessions Form Y, to satisfy the requirement of standing pursuant to stare decisis law. Oops, that's number 8. The name, address, and telephone number of the public hazard and malpractice bonding company and the policy number of the bond if required. A copy of the policy describing the bonding coverage of the specific job performance of you, all those names, in this Article 3 court action, and all other natural persons acting as employees, contractors, agents, representatives of the foreign, private, criminal, corporate entities to make a constabulary force and St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, Black River PC, also known as Black River Parish Court, St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, excuse me, and all foreign, private, for profit, criminal, racketeer, and de facto corporate citizens, entities named in universal, sovereign, commercial code 1 liens placed on the public record, associated with all fictitious bills of attainder listed in this cause of action. All officials are required by federal, state, and municipal law to provide the name, address, and telephone number of their public hazard and malpractice bonding company and the policy number of the bond, and, if required, a copy of the policy describing the bonding coverage of their specific job performance. Failure to provide this information constitutes corporate and limited liability insurance fraud, 15 United States Code, and is prima facie evidence and grounds to impose a lien upon the official personally to secure the public oath and service of office, 18 United States Code 912. Oh, that would be 8, and this is number 9. Proof that lawful service of process was made upon me in accordance with the prerequisites of my due process rights under consular jurisdiction. Your appearance is commanded at the Moorish American, Moroccan, Article 3 Consular Court to answer and produce the above evidence for the record in its entirety, and to rebut the above memorandum point by point, precept by precept, under penalty of perjury. Failure to answer and produce the above evidence constitutes default and serves as your admission by silence to the above memorandum and your lack of the above listed evidence, which proves your lack of jurisdiction and lack of judicial authorization, and that your fictitious bill of attainder instruments mentioned above, and any and all of your bill of attainder instruments, are unconstitutional, notwithstanding, null and void, ab initio, and unenforceable for lack of jurisdiction and fraud. Upon your default, you and any others involved and attached to this collusive action or racketeering under color of law are obligated to me for the following redress: to include the immediate dismissal with prejudice of the collusive action and closure of all de facto case numbers B0097124773, B0097124773, B0097124775, B0097124774, and any and all attachments and adhesions associated thereto, and the immediate return of my private property, conveyance. Damages. Conspiracy against rights, 18 United States Code 241, cost $9 million. And this is all payable in lawful money of gold or .999 fine silver bullion. Conspiracy against rights, 18 United States Code 241, $9 million. Deprivation of treaty rights under color of law, 18 United States Code 242, $9 million. Trespassing, $9 million. Denationalization under the Black Codes, $9 million. Fraud in the inducement, $9 million. Robbery, $9 million. Sexual assault, $9 million. Assault, $9 million. Kidnapping, $9 million. Hostage holding, $9 million. Unlawful imprisonment, $9 million. Impersonation of judicial officer, $9 million. Fraud, $9 million. Fraud in the inducement, $9 million. Extortion, $9 million. Coercion, $9 million. Breach of oath of office, $9 million. Breach of treaty and constitutional obligations, $9 million. Treason, $100 million. Miscellaneous consular expenses, $3,000. For a total payable in lawful money of gold or .999 fine silver bullion of $262,003,000. United States Code subsection 28 United States Code, subsection 2201, creation of remedy. A. In a case of actual controversy within its jurisdiction, except with respect to federal taxes other than actions brought under section 7428 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, or proceeding under section 505 or 1146 of Title 11, or in any civil action involving an anti-dumping or countervailing duty proceeding regarding a class or kind of merchandise of a free trade area country as defined in section 516A 59 of the Tariff Act of 1930 as determined by the administering authority, any court for the United States upon filing of an appropriate court affidavit may declare the rights and other legal relations of any interested party seeking such declaration, whether or not further relief is or could be sought. Any such declaration shall have the force and effect of a final judgment or decree and shall be enforced as stated. Once jurisdiction is challenged, the court cannot proceed when it clearly appears that the court lacks jurisdiction. The court has no authority to reach the merits, but rather should dismiss the action. Nolo versus United States, 505 F 2D 1026. If a court acts without authority, its judgments and orders are regarded as nullities. They constitute no justification, and all persona concerned in executing such judgments or sentences are considered in law as trespassers. Fraud vitiates the most solemn contracts, documents, and even judgments. United States versus Throckmorton, 98, United States 61. The law provides that once state and federal jurisdiction has been challenged, it must be proven. Joyce versus United States, 47-4, 2D 215. Maine versus Thibodeau, 100, Supreme Court 2501, 1980. Jurisdiction can be challenged at any time, and jurisdiction once challenged cannot be assumed and must be decided. Basso versus Utah Power and Light Company, 495, 5 F2D 906, 910. Whoever, having taken an oath before a competent tribunal, officer, or person, in any case in which a law of the United States authorizes an oath to be administered, willfully and contrary to such oath states or subscribes any material matter which he does not believe to be true, is guilty of perjury and shall be fined no more than $2,000 or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both. 18 United States Code 1621. It shall be unlawful for any person employed by or associated with any enterprise engaged in or the activities of which affect interstate or foreign commerce to conduct or participate directly or indirectly in the conduct of such enterprises' affairs through a pattern of racketeering activity or collection of unlawful debt. Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO, 18 United States Code 1962. Title 42, United States Code, Section 1983, Section 1985, and Section 1986. Clearly establish the right to sue anyone who violates your constitutional rights, the Constitution guarantees. He who would unlawfully jeopardize your property loses property to you, and that is what justice is all about. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed upon one because of his exercise of constitutional rights. Shearer versus Cullen, 481 F. 946, 1973. Bills of attainder, as they are technically called, are such special acts of the legislator as inflict capital punishments upon persons supposed to be guilty of high offenses, such as treason and felony, without any conviction in the ordinary course of judicial proceedings. If an act inflicts a milder degree of punishment than death, it is called a bill of pains and penalties, but both are included in the prohibition in the federal Constitution. Lozier versus Sherman, 157, Kansas 153, 138P, 2D, 272, 273. State versus Grade, 352, MO, 1102, 182, Southwest, 2D, 4654. Sovereignty itself remains with the people, by whom and for whom all government exists and acts. And the law is the definition and limitation of power. Yick Woe versus Hopkins, 118, United States 356, 370. Sovereignty itself is, of course, not subject to law, for it is the author and source of law. Yick Woe versus Hopkins, 118, United States 356, 370. Ignorantia juris quod quisque teneture scire, neminem excusa. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Nothing in this lawful document shall be misconstrued or imply to consent to any jurisdiction other than my ancestral inherited estate. Upon my inherited estate, I, Sharon Ann Pitt Johnson, in proprio persona sui juris, being a descendant of the ancient Moabites, in other respect known as American, Moroccan, Moor, Amuru, standing squarely affirmed upon my oath to the 5 points of light, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, being competent in my own proper person to attest to this affidavit, upon which I place my autograph, whereas I state, proclaim, and declare the following to be true, correct, not misleading, and not intended to be presented for any misrepresented, colored, or improper use or purpose. All sovereign, original, indigenous, ancient, divine, Moorish, American Orthodox, affirming this, and all sovereign, original, indigenous, ancient Empire State of Morocco, and the de jure Moorish National Republic federal government documents are on the public record at America, ancient Morocco, Northwest America, Northwest Africa, the North Gate, Turtle Island, Gaia, Midgard, Earth. Chronos time immemorial into perpetuity, 12 April 2022. Ego sum Sharon Ann Pitt Johnson, Justice Vizier, Minister, Chief Sovereign Living Chief Justice. In capitis diminutio nolo, in the proprio persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. Now I'm going to, before we close out this court action, we're going to look at, this is Exhibit A, and this is the petty in the, and this is the document that was foisted upon me. First and foremost, there you see an embossed seal. Who is it from? No corporate entity, no heading, no logo, no address, no nothing. In the of Petty Sessions holding the Black River PC. Black River PC. What is Black River PC? There's a Black River Parish Court. This document clearly states it's not the Black River Parish Court. That is fraud. Where does this entity, this place, does it exist? Is it on the land? Black River PC. PC. I'm making the assumption it means Parish Court, but it says PC. PC is what? When we look down here, this is a case being brought against Rex, which Rex means king. Rex of who? Rex, is that a dog? Is that a monarch? Is that, where does this come from? Who does this come from? Against Martini Sharon. Now, the nom de guerre, this is clearly a nom de guerre written in black ink. Martini, last name first, or last, yeah, first, it's written, that's military. This is a military document. This is a war document. This is treason against the people. For dog attack causing injuries. What is that? And Sharon Martini Sharon, that's not a living woman. Dog attack causing injury. Where's the plaintiff? Where's the living plaintiff, the living man or woman who's claiming case against anyone? Then we have summons, Williams Adrian, 13196, cons, C-O-N-S. What is that? There is no office, cons. Cons, now, the assumption is it's to mean constable. That is not constable. It does not say. The word does not say constable. And also, again, Williams Adrian, that's military. And then we look over here. This is purportedly affidavit of service of subpoena. Jamaica SS. SS, was that not Hitler's army, the SS, Jamaica SS, of course, it's capital letters corporation. Purportedly, that stands for signed and sealed. Jamaica SS, parish of, this is an affidavit of service of from who, to whom, on what date, from where? Parish of, this unsigned, uncompleted. I, Sharon Ann Piet Johnson, the living, sovereign living, original, indigenous, natural, divine, flesh and blood, sentient woman, was kidnapped for this to be foisted upon me. Petty Sessions Form Y. What is that? Petty officer is a military. Again, in my research, I discovered that there's no such thing as a petty court anymore. It's been renamed lay magistrates. But where is the court? There's no court on this document. Summons to person charged. Person charged. Which person? I don't accept another man's person. My person is a sovereign, living, transiting utility. It's a tool. Parish of saint, or we say saints, but that does not say saints. That says ST period. That doesn't exist. That does not exist on the land. The land will be saint, spelled out S-A-I-N-T. This is a fraudulent document. Then, in black writing, in capitis diminutio minima, Sharon Martini, who is that? Old Wharf, Treasure Beach. These places do not exist on the land. There is no land called Treasure Beach. St. Elizabeth here again. What does this say? Receives information hath this day been laid before the undersigned one of His Majesty's Justices of the Peace in and for the said parish of St. period Elizabeth. That doesn't exist. That you, who, this is paper. This is a fiction. I, the sovereign living Justice Sharon Ann Piet Johnson, in capitis diminutio nolo, in proprio persona, sui juris, in proprio solo, in proprio heredes. I was where, what? That you, and not I, this person, another man's person, the 19th day, March, in the year of our Lord 2023, at the said parish of St. Elizabeth that doesn't exist, and within my jurisdiction of this court, who is speaking here? That's not clear in any fashion whatsoever. Of this court, what court? I am the court. I'm the Article 3, Moorish American, our Moroccan, du jour court, the Supreme Court. Sharon Martini being the owner of 2 white dogs, 2 brown dogs, and 1 black dog, which caused serious injury. How do you determine, how does a fiction, black ink on paper from where, who are they talking to? Who are they speaking of? Owner of. How do you determine who is the owner of anything, and certainly a fiction, in order to, how do you claim ownership? To Linda Myers, who is Linda Myers, what is the jurisdiction? What is her status? Or his, or what is that? In a public place, to wit, Old Wharf Beach, Treasure Beach, Saint St. period, Elizabeth, on the 17th March. We've got 19th March, then we have 17th March, contrary to Section 6 of the Dogs Liability for Attacks Act 2020, which was changed to put in a monetary $500,000 up to $3 million if a dog that someone says belongs to someone and they determine this fictitious Saint Elizabeth PC, then the fine, the charge, the bill, a fiction, a debtor cannot charge anything, can charge a debtor against the form of the statute in such case. Statute, code, act, has nothing to do with the living. In such case made and provided that against the peace of our sovereign Lord, the King, his crown and dignity. I mean, this is absolute. These are this for to require you who in his majesty's name to be and appear on Wednesday, the 12th of April, 2023, noon at the courthouse at Black River, at 10 o'clock in the forenoon at the courthouse at Black River, before such justices of the peace for the said parish of Saint St. period Elizabeth. St. period Elizabeth does not exist. That is not on the land. That is a corporation, a fiction of the dead. As may then be THIS to answer to the said complaint and to be first his dealt with according to law. What law? Whose law? Given under my hand this what? Day of, in the year of our Lord 2023, at the parish of Forsted. And then we have a signature of a JP, and I say it's like L or 00437, I believe. Justice of the peace of Saint St. period Elizabeth. This was foisted upon a sovereign national, me, the living, Sharon Ann Hit Johnson, in capitis, diminutio, nolo, and heredes, in proprio in my proper person. This doesn't even show where it comes from, who it comes from. It's quite clearly fictitious, fraudulent, null and void ab initio. It doesn't even have a start. And then this was the other, let's see if I need to shrink this one down. This was the fictitious notice of recognizance, again, all in capital letters, black ink, in the Black River Parish Court. Now this is saying Parish Court for the parish of, again, St. Elizabeth, doesn't exist. There's no letterhead, there's no address, there's no... Take notice that you, Sharon Martini, of, are bound in the sum of $50. What? Dollars. And own your sureties of Old Wharf in the sum of each to appear at the court to be holden at Black River, parish of St. Elizabeth, on the 12th day of April, now next and every... Where is St. Elizabeth? St. Elizabeth. Proceedings may from time to time be adjourned, and unless you personally make your appearance accordingly, the recognizance entered into yourself and sureties will be forfeited, and the amount thereof levied on you, goods and chattels, in default of sufficient goods and chattels, that you and each of you may be imprisoned for such period as the court may think just not exceeding. I mean, I'm putting this and I'm going through it because it's clearly paper, as you can see it. From where? Obviously, jurisdiction has, they have no jurisdiction. They don't exist, whomever they are. And of course, shackled, I was forced, that says underneath all rights reserved. Sub-officer, IC, which is in charge of, but IC, what? Lockups. What's lockups? Federal claims. That was the Everton Williams, former custodian in the office of inspector. Then we go to the traffic tickets. Traffic ticket. Jamaica Constabulary Forces, all in black letterhead, black ink. There's a logo on there, but it's not clear. There's no, let's have a look, there's no address. You notice the summons offender's copy. What is an offender? That's denationalization of a sovereign national. And if we look across, we'll just go over one of them. Right? Next, we have to go over all of them. And here we have time, 0522 p.m. p.m. Which clock is that on? That's not a time. So, and then we have again the name, nom de guerre, in all caps, black, address. All of these are denationalization of attempted denationalization of a sovereign because they're fictitious. They don't exist. It's fraud. And let's see, we go down. Street name, Old Wharf. Then we have parish, St. Elizabeth. Oh, I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see that. So we have St. Elizabeth here. Again, ST period Elizabeth. These are all, this is all parts and parcel of the deceit and the fraud of how they trap you in another jurisdiction. This is not the jurisdiction of the living. First and foremost, it's in black. Then we have type of vehicle. First and foremost, the vehicle. I have the living woman travels in a conveyance or an automobile. M/car, what is that? That is not of the living. Then we go down and see. We're looking at no valid something. Because all of these are held in my sovereign, in the sovereign. These things don't belong to the sovereign. These have nothing to do with me, the sovereign living, Sharon Ann Piet Johnson. In capitis diminutio nolo, in propria persona, sui juris, in proprio in proprio heredes. And I'm just going through these just really to, obviously, they didn't show jurisdiction. They don't have jurisdiction. They couldn't have jurisdiction. But just to show the types of frauds on the documents that is used to kidnap, traffic the living man and woman. Official use only. Which officials, which office, traffic ticket number, complaint, court copy. What court? It is obviously not a court with any form of jurisdiction, authority. And then we go down here, it says, I acknowledge receipt of this ticket, offender's signature. Now an offender is fiction. That's the dead. Signature of police officer. There is no police officer unless they have authorization, delegation of authority and authorization from the Article 3 court, from the Congress, from the du jour National Republic federal government. No such thing, that's fraud. So I'm just going to go over there and of course. So we will go back up here now and, court, the sovereign justice court is complete. It is quite clear that jurisdiction, the fraudulent entities, Jamaica Constabulary Force, St. Elizabeth, as it states on there, St. St. Elizabeth Parish Court, St. Elizabeth, again, St. Municipal, have no jurisdiction. And that all of their actions and instruments, bills of attainder, are notwithstanding, they're void ab initio. So this sovereign justice is complete. This sovereign justice stands as the law, and in the words of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, Amen, Amen, dico vobis, quaecumque allegeveritus super terram erunt ligata et in caelo, et quaecumque solveritus super terram erunt soluta et in caelo. Amen, Amen, dico vobis, quaecumque allegeveritus super terram erunt ligata et in caelo, et quaecumque solveritus super terram erunt soluta. Amen, Amen, dico vobis, quaecumque allegeveritus super terram erunt ligata et in caelo, et quaecumque solveritus super terram erunt soluta. This sovereign justice, again, is complete, stands as law. Court is adjourned. Malembe is over. Peace and love.